listening, and we're going to learn some vocabulary for fractions. So this word is unequal. Unequal means that the parts are not equal. That means they're not the same size. Do you see how they're all different sizes? So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts, but they're unequal. So you cannot make a fraction out of this. Because in a fraction, all parts have to be equal. They all have to have the same amount of size, the size, number, or value. So all 4 of these parts of the square are the same size. They have to be equal. If they're not equal, it cannot be a fraction. So when we do a fraction names a part of a whole or a set. So this is 1/2, 1 of 2. This is 1/3, 1 of 3. This is 1/4, 1 of 4. Or you could say 1/3 of the hearts are shaded because 1 out of the 3 are shaded. Now the hearts are the same size. The parts of each of these squares are the same size, so they can be fractions. So one of the fractions we'll talk about is halves. When one whole is divided into 2 equal parts, the parts are called halves. When one whole is divided into 3 equal parts, the parts are called thirds. And when one whole is divided into 4 equal parts, the parts are called fourths. So you've learned up to fourths, but now we're going to learn all the other numbers that come in fractions, or a lot of them anyway. And we're going to put them in our journal to help us. So the first one I want you to find is this one. Find that shape. I want you to find that shape. Okay. Now, it's called halves because there's 2. When there's 2 parts, it's called halves. So I want you to write halves up there at the top of it. I want you to write halves up there on the top of it. Well, here it is because we found one on the floor. With your pencil, please. Okay, now what you're going to do is we're going to make a flap, okay? So this is going to be the part that gets glued on the back of it. So we're going to fold it over on this line and put glue on that flap, and then we're going to glue it down so it goes like this. Yes, H-A-L-V-E-S. All right, so halves. Okay, and I made it like this, so it flaps like this. See how it flaps? H-A-L-V-E-S. Okay, so I'm only going to color 1. So color just 1 equal part. See, they're both the same size, but I'm just coloring 1 part. You can use whichever color you want, but only 1 color. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to write the fraction underneath. So when you have this fraction on the bottom, you draw a line. On the bottom of the fraction, you put how many parts are. See, 1, 2. And on the top of the fraction, you put how many are colored in. So 1 is colored in, and there's 2 parts. That's called 1/2. 1/2. So you're writing that fraction underneath it. So write the fraction underneath it. Yes, Inslee. Okay. 1/2. We'll worry about it when we get to that one. Okay, now we're going to do another half. Look at this one. It's also got 2 parts. So find that one and write halves on that one too. And then glue it down. And we're going to color 1 of the halves, 1/2. And we're going to write 1 is colored over with the line. When I say over, it's the line. 2 total parts. 1 half, like that. Okay, now we have this one. When we have it in 3 parts, it's called thirds. Thirds, that's what 3 parts, 3 equal parts is. So find this one and write thirds on the top, T-H-I-R-D-S. Fold it over and glue it. Okay, we're not there yet. Just write thirds. Okay, now you can decide. Are you going to color 1, 2, or 3 parts? I'm going to color 1. But then you got to write the fraction correct. If you color 1, then you write 1 over 3, because there's 3 parts. If you did 2, then you write 2 over 3. And if you did all 3, then you do 3 over 3. You get a pick. But make sure your fraction matches what you colored. So the number on top is how many are colored, and the number on bottom is how many parts there are in all. Colored and uncolored. No, you pick one color.
I pick one color. I pick mine. I pick brown.
Okay, then you can decide what you're going to color. I'm going to color 2.
That's what I did.
And remember, you got to put the number you colored on the top. So I colored 2. And on the bottom is the total number of parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. When there's 4 parts, we call it fourths. So this is 2 fourths. 2 fourths. Now we're doing fifths. Fifths. So glue it down and you can choose. Fifths have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Anytime a shape has 5 parts, it's called fifths. So you're going to pick how many you want. I'm going to do 3. I'm going to do 3 fifths. You can do what you want. But remember, the number on top is how many you colored, 3. And the number on the bottom is how many parts there are in all, which is 5. And we can read this 3 fifths. 3 fifths. So you can color all the way up to 6 parts or just a few. I'm going to do 2. 2. 2, 6. So the top number is how many I colored. The bottom number is how many parts there are. And I read it 2, 6. 2, 6. No, you need to color something. Make it a fraction. All right, we're gluing the 7ths down now. And then you're going to color some of the 7ths. You get a pick. I think I'm going to do 3. Okay, and then remember, whenever we write a fraction, how many is colored? 3. Yours might be different if you did a different amount. And on the bottom is 7. So 3 sevenths. That's how we say that. 3 sevenths. 3 sevenths. Then what number is going to be next?
8.
8s. Yes, we're going to do the one with 8. Okay. Going to draw some of those. I'm just going to do 1 for my 8s. That's it. Okay. And then 1, I drew 1. And then I went over with my line. And then 8. 1 8. 1 8. So I wonder which one with 9 parts is called. What do y'all think? 9ths. Y'all are getting the hang of it now. We don't have the E. We don't have the E on the 9 though. little ninths. I think I'm going to do 5. Now I'm going to write 5 because that's how many I colored over a 9. So it's called 5 ninths. 5 ninths. Okay, we have the ninths. I did 5 ninths. Now we're doing tenths. Tenths. I think I'm going to color 3. So the way I do that is 3 on the top, and on the bottom I put 10, and I say 3 tenths. The next one is 11ths. Like that. 11ths. Yeah, we got to color that one now. All right, I think I'm going to do 4. Okay, so I have 4 I colored over 11, and that says 4 11ths. Okay, the last one is 12ths. I'm going to color in, I think I'm going to do 2 12ths. So you can't do 20 12ths. So I did 2 over 12, and that's called 2 12ths. 2 12ths.